To start a new residential project, click on New, choose Browse, and make sure that Residential Default RTE file has been selected as our default template file. Create New Project should be selected, and hit OK. The first default view is first floor plan. You can tell because it's been highlighted here. We're going to begin by drawing walls. Click on the Wall tool and choose Architectural Walls. Under Properties, the default wall is 6 inches, bit generic. I want to pick a wall type that actually has defined structural systems. So I'll pick exterior wood siding on wood stud. To draw the wall out, always draw in a clockwise direction. And as a default, we have some settings that we'll want to change. Location line to wall center line would be inappropriate for an exterior wall. We'll change that to core face exterior, which will measure the wall from the outside face of stud. And for now, we're going to leave the walls unconnected. So I'll start at the top, drag in the direction I want to go in, type in the distance that I want the wall to travel, change direction, type in the value, and then we can close up the wall. As a default, Revit will accept numbers without any inch mark or foot mark after it as feet. So as a default, Revit accepts numbers as foot value. And so you have to type in inches if you want to put in something that's an inch value. So I'm going to hit Escape twice, which gets me out of the wall creation setting. I now want to move these walls to a centered location so I can put a window around the walls, all 4 walls at the same time. Move my cursor over any one of the selected walls until I see the move symbol. Hold down the left button on my mouse and drag it to center it. So if we want to take a look at the accuracy of what we did here, let's check our dimensions. You can see it says 19 feet 7 1/4, which seems strange because you saw me type in 20. Well, that's because the default dimensions are automatically going to the center of the wall. So we're going to make a change that I would recommend you make with any new project. Go to Manage, go to Additional Settings, and we're going to change Temporary Dimensions so that the walls go to faces of core. Now when we select one of those walls, we get 19 foot 1 if those lines go to the inside face of the wall. If we click on that button just once, however, on both sides, it's now going to the outside face of stud, which is difficult to tell because the certain layers aren't turned on. I'm going to show you how to turn on those layers. So notice that this says 20, but it's not quite going to the outside edge of the wall. Well, that's because this wall consists of gypsum wallboard in the inside, stud layer, sheathing, and siding. So when we click on the wall, we should have the dimensions go to the outside face of stud. And if your walls look like this, it's because I have the thick lines turned off. So you can toggle that off by setting it to thin lines. And if we had to move a wall, we can now move it by just selecting the wall we want to move and typing in a new value. If we wanted to turn this into a permanent dimension, I can click on Make this temporary dimension permanent, and that dimension ends up being a dimension we see in our view.